All right, I'd like to review real quick about the different forms a number can take, because then what we want to do is look at what are monomials and how to multiply them. And there are different rules for that. So let's take a look today. Do our notes. Today is the 21st. 20 or 21st, depending on when you read these. We're going to write the following. In each form. So we talked that there were three different forms. We could do standard form, we could do expanded form, or we could do exponential. So for example, if I give us the number 8, 8 is in standard form. We can take that and make that an expanded form. Expanded form was just your bunch of numbers multiplied together. So we know that 8 could be written as 2 times 2, which is 4 times 2, which is 8, which then could be put into exponential form. 2 times 2 times 2, the base is 2, and then our exponent, we multiply that 3 times, so 2 to the third power. What if I gave us the expanded form first, like 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3? Well, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 could be written as 3 to the 5th power, which 3 to the 5th power is 243. If I gave us 4 to the 6th power, 4 to the 6th power is actually written as 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. There are 6 fours. Or when you put 4 to the 6th power into your calculator, you end up getting 4,096. So these are the three forms that we can look at. What I'm going to do next is look at what are monomials. Highlight that. Monomials, pretty much just a number, big fancy word for a number, could be a variable, a product of a number of variable, with no negative exponents, or variables in the denominator. So for example, the number 4 is a monomial. It is just a number. X is a monomial because it's a number. 4x is a monomial because it's a product, 4 times x, product of a number and a variable. 4x squared is a monomial because it is 4 times x, which is a monomial. It's the product of numbers and variables. But as soon as you get to like negative 4x to the negative 2 power, we have a negative exponent. We can't have that. We can have the negative 4, but we can't have the negative exponent. This is not a monomial. Same thing, if I gave us like 4 over x, this is not a monomial because of the variable in the denominator. If I gave us 1, or let's say x over 4, this one is because it's really 1/4 times x, So it's just a number times a variable, and that's okay. We can have the variable in the numerator, but not the denominator. So I hope that kind of clears up what a monomial is. What we're going to do today is kind of look at what happens when we multiply monomials. So I'm going to put product, answer to a multiplication problem, of monomials. I'm going to highlight that in a different color. Nope, same color. That's okay. All right, so for example, if I were to take 2 to the 4th power, it's a monomial. It's a bunch of 2's multiplied together, times 2 to the 6th power. You got another monomial. It's a bunch of 2's multiplied together. But I'm hoping you notice the base in these exponents are the same. So what I'm going to have us do is kind of expand all this out just to see what it looks like. Because 2 to the 4th power could be written as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 4 2's. And then we're going to multiply that by this monomial, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And then when you look at this, a bunch of 2's, all of the 2's here are being multiplied. So what we can do is rewrite this as a new exponent where your base is 2, and then when you count them, you actually have 10. So the idea is, instead of trying to write out all of these 2's, is there a way, is there a rule we can follow so that we don't have to write out the expanded form for all of our stuff, and can we just use the rule instead? So let's look at this one real quick. If I were to take the 3 to the 4th power times 3 to the 3rd power, well, 3 to the 4th power would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And then again, when you look at it, the bases were both the same, so you have a bunch of 3's all multiplied. Really, we could write this as 3 to the 7th power. So I'm hoping you notice that the base in both of these problems stayed the same. So maybe we can write that rule. So when you're multiplying exponents, keep the base. But in this case, instead of writing out all of those 3's, I hope you notice you have 4 from the first one, 3 from the second one. All you had to do was add them together. So what we're going to do is add the exponents. So when I look at this in general, if I were to take some number a to the mth power times some number a to the nth power, all we have to do is take a to the m plus n power, whatever these numbers may be. So I can actually use these rules to do some multiplication. So like a to the 6th power times a to the 8th power. Well, the bases are the same, so I'm going to keep my base a, and then all I have to do is add my exponent, 6 plus 8. So I get a to the 14th power. I know if I were to actually do this out, I would have 6 a's here, 8 a's here. Altogether, I would have 14 of them. If I were to take a to the 7th power times a to the 10th, I would have a to the 7 plus 10, 17th power. Don't have to write them all out, which is nice because if I had, like, I don't know, m to the 100th power times m to the millionth power, I don't want to write them all out. I just want to use my rule and do that. All right, so let's try a little trickier one. So for example, if I gave us 3 times y to the 4th times 7 y to the 5th. Everything here is being multiplied. So what I'm going to have us do is use our rule, but we're going to change the order because we can't. 2 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2. So if I were to take 3 times 7 first, times the y to the 4th, times the y to the 5th, we can simplify. Like, for example, 3 times 7 is 21. And then if I use my rule now, for y to the 4th, y to the 5th would be y, 4 y's here, 5 y's here, y to the 9th. And because I don't know what y is, we can't go any farther than that. So 21 y to the 9th. So let's look at when the bases are different, but exponents are the same. So for example, if I give us 3 to the third power times 6 to the third power. Don't really have a rule for this yet, but that's my goal, is to get us using a rule. If I were to expand this out, 3 to the third power would be 3 times 3 times 3. 6 to the third power would be 6 times 6 times 6. And then we're going to multiply all of these together. So what I'm seeing here is that I can actually take this 3 and this 6, switch the order, and multiply them. So I'd have a 3 times 6 here. Oh wait, but then I have another 3 times 6. And then I have another 3 times 6. So really, I'm multiplying these two together. And then I have 3 of them. So I could write this as the 3 times 6 to the third power. And then 3 times 6 is 18 to the third power. So it looks like our rule for this one is, if we were to look at this, we're going to multiply the bases. But keep the exponent. So let's try a couple of these. So I'm going to change back to black here. If I did 4 to the third power times 3 to the 3 to the third power, according to my rule, we're going to multiply. So I get 4 times 3 to the third power, which gives me 12 to the third power. Let's try 100 to the 30th power times 50th to the 30th power, 50 to the 30th power. This is where it's nice, because there's no way I want to write out 30 100s and 30 50s. I can actually put them together, so I get 100 times 50, and then I know I would have 30 of those groups. Well, 100 times 50, 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 3 zeros, to the 30th power. And then at that point, if I needed to, I can, find out what 5,000 to the 30th power is, but I don't need to. This would be simplified. So here's our rule. If I were to take some number a to the nth power times b to the nth power, we end up getting a times b, whatever they is, to the same exponent, a times b to the nth power.